Hi everyone, it's Reels with CEO, and we're back here with all the real, authentic, educating, intriguing, fun conversations. And you know how we do it. I am hoping that after this discussion, I'm going to have learned, she's going to have learned, and you are going to have learned something new. We've been here in Dubai for the International Women Leadership Conference with Ibuku Aweshika, and it has been wow, amazing. You can even imagine how much we have learned, how much we have evolved, and how we're walking away, with a lot of energy to build our tribes, play to win, get to that top that we hear is so lonely. It was so much, it was Rome filled with so much power, so many powerful and intelligent women. And we've, over time, heard how lonely it has been at the top. But I think that conversation is about to change. We're about to get more women, going up there and getting it a little warm up. Today I have a very beautiful, very intelligent, and amazing young lady. I call her a girl too. An entrepreneur par excellence. I call her UGO. A lot of people know her as the hair boss, hair by Ugo. And then, of course, a lot of her close pals call her Ugo Bekee. Please join me to welcome on today's talk, Ugochi John. Welcome, Ugo. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today, even though she came here to learn and then, of course, get some rest. But I had to get her to do this, and I'm so glad that she's joining us on Reels with CEO today. I'm already so intrigued with your hair and your makeup and your style, And let's just get into it. Hello, Ugo.
Hi,
How
see
has
you.
Dubai been for the past
Oh,
3
great.
days?
It's been amazing. I mean, it's been very, very, very exciting. Learning is just a good thing, being able to learn, knowing that there are people who have been there before you
Who have
and
gone
they're
ahead of
able
you?
to tell you, that these things are possible, in the best way that they can. They're explaining to you that, you can do this thing. Um, it's just good to know. It's just good to know. So
I'm
it's been
so
good.
glad to hear that. I came for this conference with a lot of goals, plans and stuff that I wanted to achieve. And I can say for a fact that it was very enriching, very rewarding, and extremely educating. There are so many nuggets that I picked out of this conference that are going to help me in tomorrow's journeys. And I encourage every woman out there, when you have an opportunity to be, in one of those rooms in this kind of conferences, please make sure to seize the opportunity. Mrs. Ibuku Aoshika and her team did an amazing job with this one. And I honestly, I told Lola that I didn't mind paying extra because I got more than enough value for what I paid for. And I just want to applaud them. Thank you. Having said that, I'd like us to meet you today. Can you speak to us about yourself? Let us know who Ugo Bekee. Ugo, Ugo, hair by Ugo. Let us know who Ugo is.
Thank you for this very honorable invite. I am very excited to be here. I have always admired you. I have always rooted for you, and it's exciting to see that we have both grown, in the last couple of years. Um, my name is Ugochi John. I am a mother, wife, an entrepreneur, a Jesus baby. Um, And I run this business called Hair by Ugo, and hair laundry, the hair laundry, which is actually the very first hair laundry that ever existed anywhere else in the world. Because when I started the hair laundry, it was not a thing at all, you know. So yeah, that's who I am.
Amazing. It's so beautiful to hear that women can own their space, see the need in it, or the opportunities that are inherent, and then, of course, run with them. Like she said, there was no hair laundry at the time when she thought of that idea. She conceptualized it, and now she has become, the first original hair laundry in the whole of Africa and of course across, the waters and oceans and all. And I'm so glad that you're not just in that space existing. You're looking at the need and you're constantly creating the opportunities and being innovative. Well done, Ugo. I'd like to ask our very first question this evening. How did you come about the business of selling hair, the idea, and how you started the business? Can you tell us a little bit about Hair by Ugo? And then, of course, the laundry, hair laundry that you just mentioned.
Hair by Ugo started off by chance. Most people, when you get out of school, the last thing on our mind is becoming an entrepreneur, let alone being selling anything. And then it being selling hair, being who I am, it wasn't something, I was good at sales, but I didn't think that being a salesperson now would translate into owning your business and, doing it. But I stumbled on it. I wanted to buy hair at the time when human hair started, coming into light. It was very, very expensive at the time. It wasn't something that just any random person could afford. So I think at the time when China started once China starts anything, then the price drop is usually very massive. So I wanted to buy hair and stumbled on a particular hair brand, that sold very affordable hair. By the time I wore that hair, I got lots of compliments. And when people started asking me, where can I get this? Where can I get this? Where can I get this? I thought about it and I said, this hair is something that, a lot of people have asked me where they can get it. I made referrals and all. At the time, I was in between my bank job and maternity leave. So I said to try, I spoke to the owner of the brand. I said to her, let me market this business for you. Let me take this business to the next level for you. Let me, I saw the gap in what she was doing and I saw where I could come in, So I had that conversation with her and that's basically how I started. That was basically how I started. I started off with 500,000 naira credit, because I didn't have money to start the business. She gave me the hair on credit and I sold it, paid her back. And before you knew it, I had built up capital. I had gained the trust of one or two customers. Demands had started coming in. And my husband was now willing to invest in it, So, yes, that's how I started.
Oh, amazing. So, first you saw the need because a lot of people saw and admired what you had, and of course, you knew that you could, act as the intermediary between the original
The business owner,
wholesaler,
yes.
yeah, and then you could get from her and then resell to other women. And of course, you had to build, on that. So how did your bank job at the time affect your because you were still working when you started
So
this?
I was on maternity leave, and I had no real intentions of going back,
Okay.
but I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So I think that hair I was looking for it during like dedication or stuff. So I think that was like the tail end of maternity leave when you're ready to like go back to work and all of that. So when I stumbled on this, I mean, I didn't know if it was going to work, but in doing it, I found out that I absolutely loved working with women. So it seemed like a very safe space to do my business. I mean, I loved the opportunity that doing this business gave to me. The rooms that I could walk into, to just transform a human being just by selling the right thing to the person, just made it very exciting. So the bank job didn't really affect. I mean, it was just the thing of putting your resignation letter and move on. So I just did that and I didn't look back.
It's safe to say that you're passionate about the beauty industry.
Yes.
And helping other women build their image. Fantastic. I love that. For me, I always say image is everything.
Yes, it is.
So thank you. I'd like to ask, how old is your business?
My business is, so my son, who I started the business after I had him, is 10 now. So my business is about turning 10 this year. So I have been doing this for a while, interestingly.
So they say women are a bit unstable in their business decision. Today they want to do hair, tomorrow they want to sell makeup products, next tomorrow they want to go into clothes, and it just keeps going. Did you at some point, begin to feel that way? Did you want to do hair to do today, tomorrow you want to do hair products and makeup? Did you have all those confusions while you were building your business? And then of course, at what point did you, feel like this is it for me and I'm not giving up on this business?
So I had gone through that uncertain stage, I had gone through the whole not being sure, trying this, trying that. I naturally have a flair for selling. So I had sold quite a couple of things, during like NYSC days. And this was something I was basically trying out. I didn't know I was going to stay, but in doing it, I found peace. You just know that thing that God has made for you, as a business, and when I stumbled on it, there was peace. It was a bit easy. It was a bit just easy. The niche market that I chose at the time and how I've been able to sustain it, and all of that just showed me that this is where I wanted to be, in the midst of power women, in the midst of women who knew what they wanted, in the midst of women who understood value and would pay anything for value. And for them, understanding value means that you do not sell a 400,000 naira hair, for example, for 1 million naira. You don't sell a 30,000 naira hair for 100,000. So they knew what it was. They were happy to pay for what it is, and they were happy that there was that person that
And who could also deliver quality.
deliver on it. I'm not sure if that's the answer to your question though, but yes, I knew it was for me because I was at peace. It was a bit an easy transition for me. So yes, That's how I knew, I had gone through unstable times, but I didn't face it doing this particular business.
And would you say that because you got some kind of support from the initial wholesaler and then of course your husband?
Yes.
Because we have a lot of cases where people want to go into business and one of the major concerns they have is of course capital and then of mentorship. So can you tell us, let me have you tell us a little story on your journey so far. How did you start Hair by Ugo, going from your wholesaler to taking your first set of hair to transitioning to who you are, who you've become today? Tell us your story.
This story is long.
And
Let
we
me
can't
sit
wait.
properly.
We can't wait to hear because I'm thinking asking the questions, would make it a bit too. So just flow. Tell us the story.
So, at the time, Facebook had just started, people had just started getting a hang of, how to use Facebook to advertise, YouTube, social media was a bit new, BBM, broadcast messages at the time, and the owner of the business at the time didn't live in Nigeria. So she struggled a lot with structure. She struggled a lot with having a proper distribution channel, how was she going to do it? So she majorly sold to wholesalers, who in turn, because of the quality of what it was, would possibly triple the price. And, so they were the ones that made it very expensive at the time in the market. So the moment I got to the end of it, I'll call it, Igbo people will say like the Ishimiri. When I got to the end, like to the oil well, I thought, why do I have to buy something, for example, at the time, 18,000 naira and sell it for 60? I basically said, 3,000 or 4,000 naira profit was fine. But again, that was at the time, because growing and learning, I also discovered that that didn't mean profit too, but that's a story for another day. So I basically asked the woman, look, I can do this for you, allow me try it out, give me stock, let me organize a pop-up and let's see if people will come. It's one day. With pop-ups is one day. So whatever we sell today, at the end of the day, we close our books. You take your money, I take my profit. We all go home happy. And she said, oh, why not? And then I organized the pop-up for the first time at Silverbird Galleria in VI. I always had that mindset, the people I always wanted to attract were those kind of people. So that location was very ideal for me, There was someone else that was doing a shoe sale at the time. So I collaborated with him, got one little corner. I had sent out messages to people, but the person pulls a lot of crowd. So I was just in the corner. When people buy their shoes, they would say, oh, let me see, And then that's how we sold. We sold that day, closed the book. Because of the money she made that day was based on it that she gave me the 500,000 credits to now carry in my bag and go around to say, I have hair to sell. I have hair to sell. And that's basically how I started.
Amazing. So what I picked out of this is collaboration. And then, of course, she had seen the hard work you put in. And she knew that you were bankable. She just could work and trust.
Yes, so I delivered.
Yeah.
I said I was going to deliver, and I delivered. I mean, because again, people listening might want to try the same thing, and you might not deliver, right? The person gets disappointed. The person might give you on credit. I mean, in today's world, who gives somebody else? She didn't know me. She didn't have my address. I mean, she could have said no, but I mean, I didn't disappoint her. I didn't run away with her money. I didn't decide not to pay.
So was she at that pop-up?
No, she lives in the US.
So how did she trust you to give you?
She sent someone
sent
to come stay with me
fantastic.
during it.
Okay.
But the fact that I did it, the fact that I said I was going to do it,
And you were successful.
and I did it, and I was successful at it, made that after the pop-up, she said, you know what? I believe you now. I trust that what you want to do is noble, and I mean, let's give it a shot. And that's basically how I started. And I the first set of hair I put it in the boot, of my car. When I drop off the kids in school, I'll put it in the boot of my car, and then I'll go to an office where there are lots of girls. Funny enough, a real estate office where there were lots of girls at the time, and they wanted the girls to look really nice. So when I go there, it was affordable hair, and they will all buy. And then I'll go home and wait for the end of the month when the girls had gotten their salaries or gotten their commissions or whatever it is. And then they'll pay me in installments,
So, but that didn't scare you?
I mean, it didn't.
You wouldn't keep to your work?
No, it didn't scare me, because like, again, I went to an office, they work. I knew where to find them. Their office knew, I mean, it wasn't one person buying. So a group of 5 or 6 girls, were buying stuff. So they all knew, oh, this person is owing her, this person. So they all get ready for me, and you know how it is with young ladies, aspiring young ladies. It's not about what they bought today. It's the first one they want to buy tomorrow. So they were committed.
But Ugo, I'm going to challenge you a bit on that, because there are situations where people have gone to do this kind of business, and then for some reason or another, one of those girls or 2 of them maybe lose their job, and then they are no longer there. What guarantee did you have at the time?
I didn't have any guarantee. The same way I didn't give this woman any guarantee, and she gave me, I believe that what you give is what you would get, right? So I had invested my time and energy. I was honest as a business person. And I can categorically say that in doing my business for this long, maybe 1 or 2 bad experiences,
which you're going to share in the course of our discussion.
But I haven't had like any major heartache, to someone. What I have had is that in the initial time, people would wear the hair. For example, people like who bought on credit, for example, using those girls, will possibly say, oh, my colors have dropped. My colors have dropped. What do I do? And at that time, nobody knew what to do with hair when the coils dropped. So that was when I came up with the hair laundry. Because when people said, oh, my coils have dropped, I now started learning. So I go back to the person. I say to her, ma, people are complaining that their coils have dropped. What do we do? And she says, oh, Ugo, these are steamed curls. They are handmade curls. So they will definitely drop. They're not natural, and that was how I started learning. The moment she started telling me those things and telling me, oh, this is what you do. These curls are made with a rod. So I would buy the rod for you, or I will get the rods across to you. And then you start trying to recreate, send you videos, start trying to recreate the method because it's handmade. And so that's how I came up with the hair laundry. So I'm usually not afraid, whatever the hair is, I say, just send it to me. The moment the hair gets to me, I do what I have to do. Truth remains that most of the hair out there, the curls are processed one way or the other. As raw and as natural as it might be, you have to process the curls because I mean, even when the hair is cut off, the head of the original owner is washed, is wefted, you know, it becomes rough. It must be processed for it to look, you know, as nice and silky as you want it to be. You know, what you test is the durability. Does it really last the taste of time, you know, basically. But the quality is always what it is, you know.
Okay, so ahead of you, you've put in your hard work. You also put integrity ahead of your business, so you also expected the same in return from your customers. And I want to believe that you actually take out time to check their capabilities before you took those decisions of giving out your hair on payment plans or on credit to, you know, take back your value at the end of the month. Okay, amazing. I think that has helped with your journey and your growth, because one conversation I really want you to throw more light into is how you were able to then build the capital base to scale your business.
Has my business scaled? My business
Still scaling.
Hasn't scaled though.
Okay.
Well, I would say
let's use the word how
consistently scaling.
Yes.
So it's always been support from family, 100%. You know, we've just been growing organically, basically. You know, I understand how demand and supply works now. I mean, it's just I want this, you take this, I want this, you take this type of situation. So I know how to do my sourcing, and so I'm able to manage the demand and the supply, basically, you know. So which is why I'm saying, you know, have I scaled? Because scaling for me means that you have everything at every time, you know, meaning you have the capacity to supply.
I just walk into
you know, you know, whatever it is there. Whatever it is there, you know. So we do have, you know, a display, an array of wigs at every point, but do we have it all? You know, we don't at this point, but we have the capacity. I mean, we have the ability to stomach more than we are doing now. So so yes, we're gradually scaling, you know, and we hope to get to that point where we can actually offer varieties to all the categories of women and their various demands. For example, on the bus yesterday, a lady was asking me if she can get a wig with dreads, you know. So I'm like, oh, she wears just her dreads. Oh, wow. She wants to cut it off, and she wanted a wig
with dreads.
So she wants some that kind of looks similar. You know,
I haven't seen that.
No, it's not there. So yesterday I was saying, okay, this is actually a thing, you know.
Because there are people who just love their dreads.
They want to look that way. They like that look. She's had that look for over 24 years.
Oh, wow.
And she wants to cut it off. She says she wants a fresh look. But I guess because she likes that look, she's asking for something similar. It doesn't mean she would get it exactly, but if we're able to recreate something close to it, she might just give it a shot.
So she just wants to be able to switch up her look.
Yeah.
And since you are in the industry,
yes,
it caters to that.
So, I mean, for me, scaling means that
you'll be able to.
I say yes, and I deliver on it. You know.
I got you. Okay, so moving on. What has prepared you for, you know, success on your entrepreneurship journey? Did you get mentorship? Did you go to school? Did you, you know, basically what has helped you, you know, go past your doubts and, you know, continuously and consistently build this business over the past 10 years, you said. It's a decade. That's a huge
So
milestone.
learning, is very important for everybody, irrespective of what business you're doing. You must continue to learn. So from when I started this business, I've been learning. So right from the first complaint I got, I went back to ask the person who had introduced me to the business to say, hey, Ma, this has happened. So from her response, I learned, and I've kept on improving on who I am. I am very big on in reinventing myself. I have always been that person who focuses on learning. I'm an alumni of Lagos Business School, so I have access to resources. I have access to, the things that I need to know, the things that I need to do. I have my husband who is my number one, when it comes to getting solid reasoning, when it comes to running a business. And I have a huge number of senior friends who I have made in the course of running this business, so I get feedbacks and I use those feedbacks to keep getting better, so nothing prepares you for entrepreneurship. You learn while doing it, and you have to learn to keep getting better at it.